Hi, this is Michael. Thanks for joining me. I am really excited today because I am trying for the very first time to use my sous-vide cooking method. This is a precision cooker, sous-vide. I had heard the word. I didn't even know how that cooking method was accomplished. Well, this is how it's accomplished. This is basically a large immersion heater. There's a heating element in the barrel here, and then there is a little blade at the bottom that spins around in the water. Basically, the purpose of that is to circulate the water in your pot, and the heating element heats your water to the exact temperature that you need to get particularly meats to that precise temperature. If you want rare, fine. Set the temperature to roughly 132 or 135, and in about an hour you'll have perfectly cooked rare meat. If you want medium rare, maybe it's 135 to 140, somewhere in there. Basically what it does is it cooks the entire thickness of meat to that medium rare level. So instead of having just the middle be that medium rare, the whole thing is medium rare, and then you finish the cooking by doing a sear. You can do it either on the grill, or if you have a cast iron pan, a little bit of oil in there, put it on your stove, and then you can do a quick 1 to 2 minute sear on both sides of that meat to get that nice finished crispy layer on there. This is really exciting. There's a digital display on the top. You can set the temperature to a precision of 1/10 of a degree, so you can really get it exactly how you want it. And what I love about this cooking method that I've learned, and today again is the very first time I've tried it, is you can take frozen meats, just add about 30 minutes to that cooking time, and that will end all the pre-prep stuff that you had to go through previously. Just add the spices to the meat before you put it into a plastic bag. You get all the air out of that bag, then you put the bag into the water that the immersion heater is already in, and you just cook it for the proper amount of time. Really cool concept, and it's finally at a price point where people like you and me can afford this cooking method. Previously, restaurants were really big into this, but they would have these huge, way more expensive machines that would do that. Now it comes into your kitchen in this very compact size unit. So let's get started, and I'll hopefully explain things as I go along. Let's try it out. So one of the first things you need to know is there is a minimum water level and a maximum water level. You don't want to insert this so that the water comes above the max line, and you need to have at least a minimum amount of water, otherwise you could overheat this appliance. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you want to fill your pan. The pan has to be large enough to hold the food and the immersion heater here, and it has to have enough room for the water to circulate around the items that you're going to have in there. So you can fill this with pre-warmed water, so just run your tap water and get it so it's warm but not super hot, because depending on the water temperature that you get out of your tap, you might actually be drawing water that's hotter than what you really want to be cooking at. So that's just one thing you need to be careful of. So don't use really super hot water, but just use warm water. And also by using warm water, you're speeding up the process of getting the water to the proper temperature. Also remember, as you're filling your pot, you want to leave a little bit of extra space at the top. Don't fill it right up to the top, because the food items that you're going to be putting in there are going to displace a corresponding amount of water, thus raising the water level. So once you've done that, then you can safely put the appliance into the water, and I can see that it's right to the minimum level, so I'm going to take this out and add a little bit more water. All right, that ought to do it. So now I'm going to put this in here. So here's the display. The top number is the current temperature of the water, and the bottom number is the temperature that I want to get the water to. So I'm looking for 135. That should give me a medium rare. And you can see it goes by tenths. So there is 135. Boom, 135. So over here is the cooking time. toggles between the cooking time and the temperature. So 135 degrees is the ultimate temperature, and the cooking time is going to be 1 hour, and I want to raise that to 130 because I'm starting with a frozen steak. So you can either do it individually or you can just press and hold and it'll go in larger numbers. So I've got my temperature set, I've got my time set. Now I'm just going to start it, get a beep to confirm that it's on. Now you can see that the water is circulating because of the little blade that is at the bottom there. I am going to prepare my steak. What I'm going to do is coat my steak with 1 clove of garlic, and I love garlic, so I'm just going to use my fingers and smash it on there. There's my salt, and here's my pepper. Now you don't have to use as much spice as you think, because this is all going to be sealed in a plastic bag, and it can just be a regular Ziploc type of bag. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your steak in there, seal it up, except for just a little bit at the corner. Then you're going to immerse that bag in here, and the water pressure as you push the bag down is going to get all the excess air out of that bag. Thank you, science. So you've got all the air out of that bag. And now I'm just going to close it up that last inch. You want to make sure you don't get water in the bag. So there we have it. There's my bag in there, and it's starting to float around a little bit. So what you can do is you can get a clip. Metal clip is the best, but I don't have one. I'm just going to use a plastic clip, clip it to the side, and this is going to allow the water circulating completely around the entire bag. Now you can have a couple items in a pot. It depends on your pot size as well. But if I had a little bit of a larger pot, I could probably get maybe 2 or 3 things in here. And you don't want them touching, you want them all separated so that the water is going to circulate around the whole thing. All right, good news. I just heard the beep and I see that the display is off, which means the timer has completed the cooking cycle. And here it is. I'm going to immediately go out to my grill outside, which has been warming up just about to 600 degrees. So hopefully we'll have enough heat in there that I can just do a quick... Yeah, that's the sound I wanted to hear. Now I don't want to cook this anymore. I just want to get a nice char on it. So we'll just let that sit there for about a minute. See my little bit of char here? And there we go. So here we go. We have the nice char on there. And let's give this a couple of little slices here and see what it looks like. Now again, I cooked this for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And I started from frozen. And look at that. Well, there you have it. One couple things I will mention though. The user guide states that I should be able to change the temperature of this while it is already cooking. Basically what you're supposed to be able to do is push the little button over here that changes it from the time to the temperature, and then just change the temperature with the plus or the minus. But it did not change temperature. I was not able to change the temperature once it began cooking. So I'm going to have to call them and find out whether this is defective or whether that was a misprint in the user guide or what. And the other thing that I noticed was that it never got exactly to 135 degrees. The temperature got to about 134, and then it was varying. It was 134.4, 134.6, 134.7. So it never got to 135. So the deal is they say it's accurate to 1/10 of the degree. Well, not exactly. So maybe I could have compensated for that by adjusting the temperature up a degree, which is what I was trying to do, and it would not let me do that once the cooking had started. But otherwise, everything else was great about this. Can't wait to use it more often. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll try to answer if I can. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a great day.